Good evening, everybody. Tonight, I'm gonna make cucumber salad with cream. It's not really cream, it's sour cream. It's a recipe my grandmother used to make when we were kids, and it was very good, and I grew up with it, and it is tasty. It comes out of one of her cookbooks. It was passed down to me. It's called The Woman's Glory of the Kitchen, Slovenian Women's Union of America. I think the copyright on this cookbook is 1960, 1963. But I'm not going to make it exactly per the recipe. I'm going to do a little modification to it because they have you salt the cucumbers to get the moisture out of them. What I do is I soak them in ice cold water to keep them crisp, and then I lay everything on a beach towel in a single layer and put another towel on top and use a rolling pin and just squeeze as hard as I can to get all the moisture out of them. And they come out really good. So I got 4 cucumbers. I'm going to go ahead and peel them. And then I've got a mandolin. I've got 2 mandolins. I've got one that's a thick and thin slice, and that's a real sturdy unit. Then I have another mandolin which is kind of like an infinite adjustment between 0 and 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to use that infinite one, and I'm going to make that thing give me paper thin cucumbers. What I use for the cucumber, I use a European cucumber. And the reason I use these are there's almost no seeds or very few, so it's a dense cucumber. You can slice it real thin and it doesn't fall apart, especially after you wring it out, squeeze it, or press it, whatever you need to get the moisture out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and unwrap. I got 4 of these. I'm going to unwrap them. I'm going to peel them, and I'll slice them. Okay, I have all the cucumbers peeled. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to run it down each cucumber to put grooves in it. And what that does is once you slice these with all those little tiny grooves in it, it makes whatever you're going to use for a dressing or a sauce cling to the cucumber. So what I'm going to do, and this is messy, I have got glasses on, I'll have to clean myself up when I get done with this, hope I don't get it all over the camera. I'm just going to take a fork and you're just going to run it down, you're just going to run it down the cucumber just like that. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's got lines in it, but man, it's all over me already. So I'm going to do all these cucumbers and I'll be right back. I ran the fork over all the cucumbers. I've wiped myself down from everything that's splattered off of that. So now I'll set the mandolin up and we'll get some paper thin slices out of these cucumbers. The seed pattern in this cucumber is very tight, so there's plenty of cucumber and very little seed. So these slice up real nice. All right, here we go. When it starts going at an angle, just rotate it around, balance it out. This is so simple. Just keep it so it stays perpendicular. See, now we're in the danger zone. So now what I'll do is I'll just eat this piece because I don't want sliced finger in my cucumber salad. With the cucumbers in the bowl, I'm hoping that if you look at the edges of the cucumber, you can see how they have the little nooks in them. Help catch all that dressing or the cream sauce or whatever it is you're going to put on them. Because that works really, really well. I forget where I learned that, but that is quite the addition to a cucumber if you're putting it in a salad. I have the cucumbers in a bowl of ice water. I'm going to put saran wrap on it, stick it in the refrigerator, let it go overnight, and I'll see you tomorrow. Threw all the cucumbers in a colander, drained them, got them back in the bowl so more water can drip off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them out in a single layer all over this towel. I'm going to cover it with another towel, and then I can either roll a towel up and wring it, or I can roll over it with a rolling pin. However works easiest for you is good. So let me get these laid out in a single layer. It's like dealing cards. I have my cucumbers laid out in a single layer. I'm going to put another towel on top. My personal preference is a rolling pin. The other method you could use is to roll the two towels up together. You can roll them together and just squeeze. Squeeze it as hard as you can. You're not going to hurt those cucumbers. I can feel the towel getting pretty wet. There you go. I got dry cucumbers. I'm going to let these cucumbers stay right here, maybe air dry a little bit more while I make the sour cream sauce. The cream sauce is real easy. It's 1 8-ounce container of sour cream. It's a 1/4 cup of distilled white vinegar, 1/3 cup of white sugar, and then you salt and pepper it to taste. What I normally try to do is I try to dissolve the sugar in the vinegar first. That way you don't have sugar crystal chunks in the sauce. And I usually let these are better like a day ahead and let them sit in the sauce overnight. So I'll make the sauce, get the cucumbers in there. 1/4 cup of vinegar. 1/3 cup white sugar. What I'll do, I'll whisk this around and get that sugar dissolved. All the sugar doesn't dissolve, but it's broken down pretty good. Now the sour cream. You just whisk it till it's smooth. 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. This is nice, it gives it good color, and it gives it a little bit of a smoky taste. It's pretty good. 1/2 teaspoon. Just keep whisking till it's smooth. There's the sauce. And you can adjust the vinegar and sugar to your preference. It might taste sweet right now, but once the sugar and the vinegar kind of meld together, they'll offset each other. And just put whichever one you need more of, you think. If it's too sweet, put another teaspoon or so of vinegar in it and go from there. All right, I'm gonna put the cucumbers in it and we'll see what we've got. We'll just gently mix it together. Just keep mixing it till all the cucumbers are coated. A little salt and pepper. There you go. I tasted it, it's good, but the sugar, there's still little crystals of sugar in there. So the longer you let this sit, the better. That sugar will eventually dissolve. It won't be a problem. But I would suggest if you're going to make this, make it a day in advance, only because you got to do a minimum of 4 hours with the soaking in the cold water. You can see the cucumbers, how those ridges went pretty deep in there, and those will help scoop up whatever it is you're putting on your cucumbers and make it hang onto your salad. Transfer everything to an airtight container. This whole dish weighs about 2 pounds. It says it'll serve 12. I don't think so, because if my family were to eat that, that's probably 6 or 8, because this stuff's really good. We'll put that in the refrigerator and let that sugar blend in with the sour cream and vinegar. Well, I enjoy sharing an old family recipe with you. Give it a shot. I think you'll be surprised at how good it tastes. Thanks for watching.